Welcome to Africa Diaspora News Channel. My name is Lynient Akotonou. Across social media, across blogs, even inside Nigeria's own official communication channels, a wildfire of misinformation has been spreading that Japan is begging black folks, that's Africans, to come fill up its empty cities. That sounded shocking. It sounds bold, but everyone ran with it. But the truth, family, that is far from the truth. And right now, Africa is in the middle of a narrative it did not paint. But let's break this down. Now, here is how it started. Japan's Prime Minister Shigeru Ishika welcomed delegations from across the continent, particularly from Africa, in a Japan African conference. They talked about initiative promoting cultural and economic exchange between the two countries, and yes, a sister city exchange between Japanese towns and African communities. But somewhere along the line, the headline changed to Japan wanting to bring Africans to come fill up its abandoned cities. I mean, social media took over, bloggers took over, and that became the narrative. So let's check out what this actually was, because it felt as though Japan actually gave out 4 of their cities to African countries, to Nigeria, to Ghana, to Tanzania, and to Mozambique. But was that really the case? Let's check it out. Under the JICA Africa Hometown Program, 4 cities were assigned partner countries in Africa: Imabari to Mozambique, Kizarazu to Nigeria, Sanjo to Ghana, and Nagai to Tanzania. So this was after the international conference, that's the Japan-led conference on African development. So people felt that these lands were given, these cities were given to these African countries. And then they felt that Japan was actually calling for migrants from Africa to come fill up these cities. But was that really true? Because Nigeria followed this with an official statement that Japan was inviting highly skilled Nigerians to come work and live in the Kizarazu town in Japan. So everyone believed that there was, visa for them to Japan because, they are strengthening ties with Japan. But Japan came out to deny it. The government denied it. That is not what they meant. The Chief Cabinet Secretary, Yoshimasa Hayashi, said at a press conference that Japan had requested Nigeria to correct its information and provide the right information, because all they got was the wrong information from what Japan actually meant. Japan did not say you should come stay in their country, work for them. That is not what they meant. They were only trying to strengthen the tie. But we turned it to something else. Meanwhile, Nigeria was not the only one deceived. Tanzania also came out to say that the Nagai town in Japan was dedicated to Tanzania as a sign of honor. But why all this misinformation in the first place? Let's watch this clip.
外からの力を借りて国を回そうなんていうのは邪道なんですよ。日本は日本でちゃんと自分の足で立てるように、国家の体力を取り戻さないと、外からの力を借りて国を回そうなんていうのは邪道なんですよ。我が国が発展途上国で人口が1000万人ぐらいしかいないと、そういうところだったら、それはもう他国に移動するしかないというの分かりますよ。でも皆さん考えてみてください。世界第4番目の GDP 持ってるんですよ。国民の資産だけで2200兆円あるんですよ。国家の資産入れたら1件以上あるんですよ。人口1億2000万人ですよ。世界11番目ですよ。国土面積海も入れたら世界6番目ですよ。我が国は力があるんですよ、まだ。そんな国がなんで外国に依存しないといけないんですか。なんで外国の金や外国の労働力に頼らないといけないんですか。もっと中の力を、中の下を生かさないといけないじゃないですか。発想が貧弱なんですよ。間違えてるんですよ、政府は。
So you see that what he said actually made us feel they wanted black folks to come fill up their empty cities. And why? Japan is indeed facing a serious demographic crisis. They have an aging society, they have towns that are emptying out, and guess what? They don't want immigrants. Japan has some of the strictest immigration policies in the world. So when stories popped out that they were begging Africans, people said finally they are now desperate enough to want to beg Africans. Africans have been mistreated over the years by US, Europe, China, and then we felt, Japan turning to Africa, begging Africans is like a reversal of power. We felt important. And let's be honest, racial anxiety fuels cliques. Japan begging the blacks, Japan wants the blacks. Japan wants Africa. Headlines like that will actually fly, and it will cause outrage both in Japan and Africa. And Japanese, with the stories we've seen online, they do not want Africans to come to their country. With the calls, the government gods, with everything, they had to address the misinformation. They feel Africans are going to soil their land. But let's zoom out. Japan does have a problem. Their population is shrinking, their workforce is collapsing. But because of reasons known to them, should we say racism and xenophobia, they've refused to open the door to immigrants or Africans. They feel we will soil their land. They bring in temporary workers like caregivers from the Philippines, little from here and there, but large scale workers, from, especially from Africa, immigrants, they don't want that. And I'm not sure they know this, but are we begging to be in Japan? We are not. So it was all a misinformation according to the Japanese government. They said that information was false. They are not begging Africans to come to Japan to come work for them. What do you have to say about this story? Comment your thoughts and do not forget to share, like, subscribe, and turn on your notification button. My name is Lynient Akotonou.